reservist movement and the goals that you guys are seeking to accomplish.
Sure. It's always a struggle to speak after a native speaker, but I'll do my best. So the Miluynikim movement was born right after October 7th as well, when thousands of reservists reported for duty, even without, by the way, being called. I myself, I'm a deputy commander of an infantry battalion, and I found myself in the first day of the war defending and clearing the kibbutzim from terrorists, and then later on fighting inside Gaza. And I think that during war, you were witnessing so many surreal moments. And one of those moments that I can maybe share with you is imagine yourself, finding yourself shoulder to shoulder with a former cabinet member and a minister of communication, in this case, Lieutenant Colonel Yoaz Hendel, on field, fighting with me. And at first we were on a green mission in the kibbutzim, recover remains at the Nova Festival site, and then later on searching and destroying terrorist infrastructure inside Gaza, specifically in Khan Yunis. And it was on those days, on field, that we came together to share the realization that Israel must change direction. And that the Miluynikim, the reservists, the one who reported to duty and fought on field, and by the way, not only reservists, but also civilians who stepped up and volunteered and supported, need to be the next leaders of the state of Israel and lead for a change. And since then, we are building the infrastructure and the actual movement of the Miluynikim. And I'm very proud to say that we are advocating, as mentioned, for equal burden of service, for example, and for the values that Miluynikim reservists are representing. And hopefully that we're going to be the big change that Israel is needing so much.
Great, thank you. Reservists, when obviously not everybody in this country serves in the IDF.
Sure. So I think that you need to look at the Miluynikim, the reservist term. We look at it in the broadest sense. For us, Miluynik, reservist, is every Israeli who stepped up on October 7th and since then and contributed to the country by engaging, by supporting the troops, by volunteering, or by being part of the troops, of course. So, and my colleagues here, we have here Elazar Benjamin here next to me, who is, by the way, can I say Elazar is 50 years old? Yeah, I can say, because I just said it. And he volunteered on his age. He's already an age where you volunteer in the unit, by the way, that was founded, unit of volunteers, who founded by Yoaz Hendel, the chairman of the Miluynikim. And I have here with me also, who was so active since October 7 and on October 7 and since, and she has, of course, a son that serves, and she's on the movement. So every Israeli that share our values is part of the Miluynikim movement. It can be a civilian, it can be a reservist, and it can be also a mother, a father, a husband, a wife. Take my wife for an instance. She was alone for 350 days-ish, but who counts? She counts. Taking care of the day-to-day. So her contribution was not less than mine to the situation where we at. So we really look at it at the broadest sense possible, and everyone who shares our values has a place in the Miluynikim movement. And this is why when we argue for the unity of Israel, and when we argue for equal burden of service, we are looking at the entire spectrum of the Israeli society. That's about it.
And where your thoughts may be heading. As you all know, we're going to elections next year, one way or the other. So let us give us a little insight into what you're thinking about the future of the movement.
Sure. So I think that what saved Israel after October 7 was not a governmental decision. It was the action of civilians who stepped up and took responsibility and filled, in a sense, the gap that the government left. And I think, by the way, that represent from one end the challenges that the Israeli government has, and from another end, it represents also the great nation of Israel and the people here that are, when they hear that there's a crisis in the south, they are going south to save their brothers and sisters. And that's what's really great about this country. So what we are doing, what we are focusing on, is creating the civic movement and the civic infrastructure to support it. And we are capturing the civic energy, letting anyone, not only apart from party politics, anyone from anywhere that can join us and influence, even if not part of the current politics and so on. So I think that's where we're focused now. That is where we put our energy. That said, I believe that the tools to accomplish our goals are probably in correlation with politics, and we're not of course ignoring it. Politics might be the future or part of the future of the Miluniki movement.
I'll just say, so people know, and you can address it or not if you'd like, there are a lot of polls out, obviously, towards elections next year, and some of the polling does include the Miluniki.
Yeah, I always say just about the polling, if I may. I think that it was Shimon Peres who once said that pollings are like perfumes. So you can smell it, but you better not drink it. So we drank it, and so it's very flattering, the polls. I think it's great, and I think that it gives the sense that the public of Israel, the society in Israel they are hungry for a change, for unity, for a different leadership, and it's really, really, really great. But we're really focusing on building civil infrastructure. Later on, if politics is the tool, we will definitely use it.
Okay.